And this is the reality that we have missed. That's why we have this prejudice against color. We can have a prejudice against people that speak another language. We can have a prejudice of with people who have a different culture and do things differently. But in fact, we are brothers and sisters. One Father, that is God. So, if that's true, then there is something about us that should make us want to be together. There should be something about us to make us want to be together. Because we are one family, one family. And of course, that one, when it says that God hath made of one, that is not a numeral. Because if there's a number 1, then there'll be a number 2, and a number 3, and a number 4. But there isn't. Because this is the one out of which everything in this universe has come from. The rocks, the mountains, the hills, the stars, the sun, the moon, people, the grass, the trees, everything has come out of God. There is no other source of anything on this earth. So you see, we've all come from the one. That's God. Now, God is spirit. We know that. God is spirit. God is not a man. God is spirit. Therefore, every one of you are spirit. You must be. Have you ever seen a dog born into a cat family? No. Or a cat born into a dog family? No. Why? Because whatever the parents are, that's what the offspring will be. So God is spirit. What does that mean? You are spirit. It means man, M-A-N, is spirit. Now I want you to understand this today, because this is not something that most people can understand or have even heard. The religious world does not tell you this. But you see, when God said, let us make man, there was the man. Because God is spirit. How does spirit do things? Spirit speaks, and it is. So simple as that. When God created the heavens and the earth, do you think he was totally worn out after those 6 days? So the seventh day he had to take a rest, you know, and kind of lay down and rest his weary limbs or something? I don't think so. When there was darkness on the face of the deep in Genesis 1, what did God do? He spoke a word, said, let there be light. And the light came. You understand? God is spirit. So are you. So are you. So are you. You are spirit. You see, we look in the mirror and say, this is me. No, sir, this is not me. And that is not you. Your body is not you. Can you hear this tonight? Your body is not you. What are you? You are spirit. That's what man is. When God said, let us make man, Genesis 1:26, there's the man. What did he look like? You wouldn't have even seen him if you'd been there, because he was spirit. Pure spirit. He never had a body. That is man. So when God talks about man, he's not talking about a body. He's talking about you, and you are spirit. Why is that? Because God is your father. And if your father is spirit, then the offspring must be spirit. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now, this is important, because unless you understand this, then we will not really understand what our role is in this world. We will not understand that God made us in his likeness and image. You see, God wanted somebody on this earth called man. But that man had to be in the likeness and the image of God. Every one of you are in the likeness and image of God tonight. What did you do to become in the image and likeness of God? Nothing. Why? Because that's how you were created. What does that mean, to be in the likeness and image of God? Does God look like this? I don't think so. That's not what he was talking about. You're looking at a body. God does not have a body. God is spirit. God is not a man in the human sense. So God doesn't have a body like me, nor like you. So when God is looking at us, he sees us not as a body, but he sees us as he created us as spirit. That's what he sees. So this is important, because if the body is not you, then this is going to make a big difference to how God does things for you. For instance, if you consider that your body is you, and that body gets cancer, what can you do about it? Nothing. Why? Because you've got cancer. You've got cancer. Then you can't do anything about it. But if you truly understood that your body is not you, that you are spirit, and that spirit is Christ, that's what that spirit is. It is Christ. Then the doctor says to you, well, son, I'm sorry, but you know, you've got cancer. Well, the body's not me. It's the body that's got cancer, not me. Why? Spirit cannot get cancer. Spirit can't even get a headache. Christ can't be sick at all. It's not possible. You see how this is so important? Because we have lots of problems. I mean, today sickness is rampant everywhere. And I want to tell you that Christians are just as susceptible to sickness as anybody in the world. I mean, that world looks in and sees the Christians, and, you know, they've got asthma, and they've got diabetes, and they've got, cancer sometimes, and all kinds of things, and they say, well, I don't know, your God's no better than our God out there, because we have the same. And that should not be so. And I want to tell you, the world is not waiting for a better preacher. The world is waiting for people who will begin to live out of their true identity, which is Christ. That's what they're waiting to see. Because anybody that can live out of that true identity of Christ cannot be sick. And in fact cannot die either. Because immortality is a part of the gospel. But because, you know, we think, well, this is me, I'm, you know, this body is me. You see, we get ourselves all tangled up, and then we can't do anything about any of the problems that we have. Because if the body is you, and you are sick, that's it. You can't do anything about it. But if you are that Christ of your true identity, if that's you, and your body gets sick, what did Jesus Christ do? He went around healing the sick. He made the blind to see. He made the deaf to hear. He made the lame to walk. He fed 5,000 people. Put his hand up, stopped the storm. Can you hear this? Do you know that that Christ that was in Jesus is the same Christ that's in you? The same Christ that's in you.